Hello, everyone.
Welcome to Nathan is always so quiet on the podcast because he farts during quiet time, so it cancels out his noise. I think I figured it out.
Oh my god, I'm not a ghost, I exist. I'm just stupid.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got that settled out right off the bat. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the DoubleClutch.ca podcast. It is going to be an interesting one this week. I'll tell you what. We have Rush and Nathan in the studio, as you might have heard. I'm also back in studio after a bit. And we have our dear friend,
Mr. Jeffrey Wilson.
I was going to get to that.
Just sitting here quietly by myself, minding my own business.
Not farting.
You laugh. Shut the fuck up.
He did.
You thought that was funny.
He did. Yeah. All right. It's been a bit, Jeff. How's it going?
Yeah, very well. It's been busy, but that's a good thing. And normally I come on here and I bitch and complain and tell you all the things that you guys have done wrong. But
airing grievances.
I have a problem with you people.
Exactly. But I don't actually have any problems. I've been listening to the last bunch, trying to get some ammunition for this. And honestly, especially the episode when Nick wasn't here, it was really good.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Yeah.
Actually,
so I got nothing.
I detect facetiousness in your voice.
No, not at all. It's all good.
What was Nick not here?
Do you detect the one that you and I did that was excellent?
Someone fucking listened to that?
Apparently, yeah. Isn't that fucking horrifying?
No.
People listen to this.
I got free pizza out of it, so I thought it was worth my while to listen to it before I came here today.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
There you go.
Well, I guess you got your... You made fun of us before the podcast, so you gotta kind of take it easy on us now.
Yeah, like I say, I got nothing this week in terms of bitching at you. Not yet, anyway. I'm sure something will come up as we go along. But,
yeah, naturally. Probably something to do with, the fact that Nathan recently got his bike license or something. I'm sure you can find something there.
He's gotta get schooled.
Yeah.
Well, I did hear some things about that.
I can't actually get at school because I never professed to be good at it. I know I'm new. I know I'm slow.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, no, and actually, I did want to talk to you about that. So because it's new and fresh for you, I got into motorcycles fairly late in the game, so to speak, as well. I was probably in my 30s when I did, and that was 1,000 years ago for me. And
shut up.
What I found, though, was all that excitement that the rest of us car nerds had when we were teenagers, and we were consuming and absorbing everything we possibly could about cars. I now have that love, or had that love for bikes as well. And so you just want to know everything about all the bikes all the time.
It's a whole different language. Like,
Exactly.
wait, what does this mean? Is this relevant? People talk about this? What does that word mean?
All these different makes and models, and what's good, what isn't good.
Yeah,
It's
bro, what the fuck is a Transalp?
What's a fork?
That bike was a big deal?
I must say,
it was.
I did enjoy the little discussion there about the steering stabilizer, the fork stabilizer there.
That was this guy.
That was Rush. I know. Yeah, Rush, you figured it out.
He's got a keen eye.
Someone else didn't.
I don't know. We were just looking at it.
I never professed to be intelligent.
Yeah. I think that's the thing. Like,
I'm just a pretty face, and this asshole's prettier than me. I find his presence very upsetting.
All right, Jeff, get the hell out.
And I'm done. Thank you.
He's just on edge. He's so intimidated by how pretty Jeff is.
Choking on my water here.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, bikes are cool. Because, that's the thing. Because, like, I feel like, not that you know everything about cars, but you know so much. It's like, but bikes are like...
I know everything.
Yeah. Bikes are like so, so similar to cars in so many ways, but it completely
But also
world.
quite different, and I know almost nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So it's kind of nice to be like the new kid again.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't know. What's this do?
But then being able to figure that out through press bikes, which is cool because you get to try so many different varieties of bikes, right?
Yeah.
I just get to go do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any highlights for you?
Yeah, I mean, like, are you finding that, and maybe it's too soon yet to know, is there a genre of bike, a type of bike that you
I definitely am a big slut for scramblers.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love me a scrambler.
What's a scrambler?
So a scrambler is like kind of...
Oh, hang on. Wait, I thought you didn't know anything. Maybe you should...
What?
The
I know.
expert.
Jeff.
We're testing it.
Yeah.
We'll see. So
Okay, let's
basically, you know the BMW R9T?
Yep.
The fucking really cool looking hipster bike?
Yeah.
That's a scrambler.
No.
Oh.
They do a scrambler.
They do
in
a
the
scrambler
R9T.
version of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the R9T
See, I don't know
is
things.
supposed to just be kind of a retro cafe style. They
I
call it
like those a
roadster,
lot.
actually.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Like anything cafe style, I'm like, I'm there. Like just the
Yeah.
look, I'm like...
Yeah. So
cafe racers are cool. I've always...
Yeah, so like a scrambler is
as a non-bike
basically
person.
like a lightly off-roady cafe bike. Lightly. With
Right.
a slightly more upright position, and the signature thing is like a very high mount exhaust that is allegedly for high water fording, which you're never going to fucking do on a hipster bike. Yeah.
Bike?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Sounds a lot like the wildernesses and the TRD sports of the automotive world.
Which is
It's
pretty
mostly an
apt
aesthetic, but it's a cool aesthetic.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a
They
pretty
do look
apt
sick.
comparison
They do look
because
sick.
it's the same deal. It's like, compared to something like that Transalp, for instance, that you had before.
That can actually do it.
Right.
Yeah.
The Scrambler's like a really good rider can go out there and just beat the living crap out of it the way that somebody could in a Subaru Wilderness of some sort, too. Yeah, you can take it down the Rubicon Trail. You'll probably break a lot of shit, but it'll maybe make it a good way down there. Where it's the same thing with the Scrambler. If you're a good rider, you can actually beat the shit
you
out
can
of it.
manhandle it down there. I don't know if it'll come back out, though.
Totally.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah. I don't know. It's one of those things that's sort of like, there's so much new to it. And for me, there's always that level of excitement when I ride still, that
The little bit of fizziness. Just, ooh.
Yeah, because there's fear involved. Like
You're very vulnerable out there.
You have to, exactly. You have to have that respect. I mean, that I've seen, a very good friend of mine who's been riding for a much, much longer time than I have. He had that momentary lapse of judgment and, or lapse of attention, really, and just sort of drifted across the center line. And then by the time he clued in, that split second later, what he was doing, he was already then in the opposite shoulder. And then I just saw him and the bike cartwheel into the forest. And then there was bad news that ensued after that. So, it's in a car,
so
if you
fast.
slightly drift over the line, you kind of go, oh, shit, I need to correct, and away you go. But yeah, there's always that level of respect that you got to have.
Yeah, you're always just a little terrified.
Yeah.
Just a tiny bit, like a healthy amount, I think. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and it's been kind of neat for me because I've had like more or less 3 of the same Honda in slightly different flavors, because I had the CBR 500, the NX 500, so same chassis, just more upright, a little more off-roady, and then the SCL 500, which is the Rebel chassis, but with the same 500 engine and a Scrambler style. I fucking love that bike. It's objectively the worst one by a mile, and I fucking loved it. It was the best.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Of
otherwise,
those 3 Hondas. Otherwise, buddy, that BMW is sick.
yeah. So you got the 1 BMW and the 3 Hondas, then, right?
4 Hondas.
4 Hondas, right? Okay.
Because there was also the Transalp, which was
Hondas-
probably the objectively best bike.
Right. Now, I haven't ridden the Transalp, but my experience generally with the Honda bikes is that they are the Toyota Highlanders of the motorcycle world there.
Thanks for
Very
bringing
safe,
the terms of
very
energy.
sensible.
Very sensible. They'll last forever, but they're as exciting as, warm milk kind of thing. So,
They're very sanitized. Like I got that pretty quick. Like even
It's interesting that you say that about something that doesn't have like a frame and airbags and seatbelts and a crumple zone around it. The fact that it's so like sanitary, meanwhile you can literally die behind the wheel.
yeah, but
feel of
it's
that.
relative, right? Compared to everything else.
In the realm of
Right.
bikes. Yeah.
Yeah, like
and actually, you mentioned no airbags, but in fact, the last Honda that I just had a couple of weeks ago,
the big ass Goldwing has that
I
as an
had the
option,
Goldwing.
right?
It had an
Shit.
airbag,
Yeah.
and CarPlay, and
CarPlay.
And reverse.
They
Yeah,
call it
reverse for a
CarPlay?
while.
That's right. Yeah, it's got a walking gear basically, and in fact, that one had a
Electric reverse?
DCT in it too.
What?
So
Yeah.
so it's weird because it took a long time to get used to it. There's no
clutch
in it.
at all.
There's nothing for me to do with my left hand. It was just really strange, and yet it works really, really well.
See, I was curious because Honda has an Africa Twin DCT on the fleet that I kind of wanted to check out, but I was also like, I don't know if I, as a novice, should get on a bike that easy to ride yet. Like, do you know what I mean?
How big is
Do the
the
hard
engine
stuff so
on
you're
that thing?
build your skill.
1100.
Ah, that's a big boy.
Oh, it's fast, but like, I should get fundamentals down maybe more. I don't know that I'd appreciate the DCT-ness of it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think you're savvy enough with mechanical things, and certainly within the automotive side of things, that I think you would really actually have an appreciation for it. Because it's funny, I found that the DCT and the Goldwing, it kind of worked for that bike. Like, it just sort of made sense. And I would imagine with the Africa Twin, it would probably be pretty good too. I don't know. I think it's worth booking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how does that? Okay, how does it work? Not like the nitty gritty, like technical details, but like how do you in practice? How do you use a DCT bike?
Yeah, you basically turn it on and
Right.
put it into. In fact, I can't remember now. You don't even have to put it into gear.
Really?
Just sort of start rolling on the throttle and it
Yes.
goes, but then it'll come to
Well,
a
like
stop.
I guess like a
and it comes to
DCT
stop.
car.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't creep, right? It just it sees throttle input and starts applying clutch.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
It is, and
Yeah.
Or
because,
disengaging clutch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it's a Honda, it's exceptionally well engineered and it works really, really well. And
Yeah.
it's on the Goldwing. It's made it to that big flat 6.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just gobs of torque. Like it's really, really
Nice.
well suited to it.
I remember like in 06, my parents they bought a new Honda, so you used to get like the Honda magazines all the time, and the Goldwing was a bike that was in it pretty often. And I remember seeing that it had an airbag, and I was like, what a neat concept.
Yeah.
And I guess that stuck with me because we were talking about the Goldwing not too long ago.
Yeah.
I was like, didn't that bike come in an airbag? Like, isn't that kind of like wacky? Like,
Yeah, it's a really cool bike. Like that, like it weighs about as much as a car, and it has as much shit going on as a car.
But it's cool that like Honda's figured out like they've been doing bikes for so long that now they're just like, oh, what if we just like kind of like just do more? Like, like what if you actually put bike play, car play?
and it's weird because like for me to get into this and like learn stuff, it's neat to see people bitching about Hondas because they're too sanitary, because they used to be more wild and wacky and try more shit. Like that Scrambler, apparently it's not a cool bike because it's a cop-out and they phoned it in and it could be so much better. Like, this is a thing I read on the internet, right? But like even to get, what is the zeitgeist? What do people think about this shit? I don't know. I don't have an opinion. What's an opinion? Please tell me my opinion.
It's almost
I don't know.
refreshing.
I think it's fun.
Well, you're a blank slate, yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost refreshing coming at it from that angle.
Yeah.
Because you can sort of come to your own conclusions, but like at the same time, you don't have that experience to like draw on.
To have the context is all right. Well, I don't know. Felt fine to me. I think it's fun.
Well, it's like how many times does that happen with cars, right? It's like, I don't know, you talk about like anything, like everyone's just echoing the same stuff, right? Like we talk about like, oh, BMW's big sniff, well, like, oh, they don't really feel like the old ones, like, but
did you see how heavy the M5
yeah,
is?
it's like if you, I know, oh my god, it's the weight of a planet, but it's like if you took a newborn and just like dropped them in, they'd be like, this is sick.
You know what I mean? Like newborn will have ever been.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so it's kind of a neat perspective, I'd say, but I don't know.
Well, I took the Goldwing and it was meant for a kind of a silly comparison with a Miata.
Okay. Oh my god, that's what Nathan has too.
Well, because they weigh about the same.
Oh god.
The pricing was not far off because it was the top spec Goldwing.
Yeah.
And then the luggage space, and I know you kind of joked about that with the panniers.
Yeah.
But the funny thing with the top box and the 2 side boxes on the Goldwing, they were within
like a few liters of the Miata's trunk.
Exactly.
Isn't that dumb?
That is hilarious.
Yeah. And of course, they both have CarPlay. They both have heated seats.
Actually, the Goldwing has heated grips, and the Miata does not.
Doesn't have a heated wheel.
Oh my god, that's too funny.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So, but the weird conclusion out of all of it was that I would always assume that the bike was going to be the livelier, more energetic, more exciting, more interesting thing.
Yeah.
But it isn't. It's like if you had to go do a cross-Canada journey and pick one of those two, the bike would be the more relaxing thing to do it.
Yeah.
That is surprising.
That is
It's weird, you know? Like it weighs 1/3 of what the Miata does and has almost the same torque.
Yeah.
And yet it's just really...
But it's set up to be super chill.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's all
in the intention and how it's dialed in. Like even amongst like the 3 Honda 500s I had, like despite being so similar, they're quite different.
Yeah.
And just in execution and like just rider position, even just little things like positioning of the foot pegs and the handlebars totally changes the dynamic of the thing.
Yeah.
And knowing your taste in cars too, I'm excited for you to try. What's that?
Knowing his taste in cars, poor car. Yeah, just terrible cars.
Poor taste in cars.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you to try other things that are kind of known to be a bit more
spicy,
characterful.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, I've had a couple of Ducatis and they are absolutely a love-hate relationship because some of the time they operate brilliantly.
Yeah.
And the rest of the time, you're like, no, we're not getting along today. You know, there's just little quirks about them. They've got a lot of personality. And even amongst the Japanese companies, like I find personally that the Kawasaki's just have a lot more fizz than what you find from the Hondas and the Suzuki's. So it'll be interesting.
That's a good word.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if you kind of come to
I'm
those
looking forward to that.
experiences too,
Like the only experience I had was like on my friend's old F650 GS, a big BMW. I loved that thing. And then dormant for years, and then the rider training thing, like on day 1 I was on like a little Honda dirt bike. Day 2 I got on a brand new Suzuki dirt bike. I fucking hated it, and all of the confidence I built up the day before eroded. I just did not jive with that bike at all. and I saw the guy who had my Honda from the day before couldn't keep it running. Like, you want to trade for this new Suzuki at Idle's? Great. Thanks. We're good.
Yeah.
I like Hondas. They save my ass.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, even just like to get on that BMW, like, okay, so ostensibly the same genre of bike as the Transal, but completely different execution.
Yeah.
And surprising in how different they were, and how much. And I don't mean this as a knock, but how much less refined the BMW was.
Yeah.
By the time I got it back to BMW in Richmond Hill, like there was so much more vibration being transmitted through the handlebars, just so much more NVH. Like I was ready to get off the bike. My hands were going numb, my ass hurt. Like,
Yeah.
but I was still having fun. It was the fucking best.
Well, I'll tell you, if you've still got room in your schedule this year, I know they have this absolutely stunning green R129T on fleet there.
I saw that a couple weeks ago.
Oh.
I'm the furthest thing from a bike person. That thing looked fucking sick.
It is gorgeous. It's the same color you can get on an M4, I guess, but it's
actually, we were looking at that though.
yeah,
Remember
it's
on the configurator when we had our solo episode.
I don't recall.
But that is a bike that has oodles of character because it being the Boxer,
Yeah.
you just give a little blip of the throttle
Yeah.
even at a standstill, and the whole bike will rock side to side.
That's awesome. Oh my god,
It's so good. It's so good.
You're just sitting on top of the motor. It's such an intimate thing.
That's cool.
And yet it's really, really easy to ride. Like it's very, I mean, it's so exceptionally well engineered that it's a very, very good bike.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm really looking forward to checking. God damn, that's cool. Nick's showing me this bike now.
Yeah,
That's
I have a
sick.
picture of it a couple weeks ago.
That thing's wicked.
While it's up there. Yeah,
That's the
that's
Yeah,
sweet.
this whole thing's been really cool to check out and just like, all right, start over.
Yeah.
It's also kind of cool to see like there's so many comparisons to be made like between cars and bikes, right? It's like I don't know for me like for a long time I thought like okay, let's just say take BMW for example. Like they had their automotive division and then the guys that do bikes, and I didn't really think that they talked to each other too much, but you can definitely see the influence. Where it's
Definitely.
Like, oh, like that's a BMW bike. Like
Yeah.
they did things the BMW
like
way.
the gauge cluster, like ripped right out of an M. They're the same.
Yeah, that and like even like the way that they like engineer like certain things. Like if you look at the way that they put things together, it's like like that looks like
Yeah,
something
that sounds
BMW
like something
did.
they would do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like kind of neat.
like
I
the
don't know.
hardware, like the branding on the certain thing, just little details.
like, seeing,
Because
like-
you and I have seen these cars in pieces, right?
Yeah.
So like we really know like the nitty gritty of what these things look like.
And seeing like BMW like stamped on individual bolts, you're like, oh, okay, like that's kind of interesting, like
Detail.
to see it.
That's
yeah,
cool.
I don't know, like it was really interesting because I don't know, I don't know bikes at all.
Goddamn one-time use aluminum fucking screws.
Yeah, but like just like being able to come at it from like a nerdy, I like taking things apart and seeing how they work perspective. Like that's that I think that's like been like the biggest allure to bikes because it's like they seem approachable in that way where it's like you can actually do it
Just
in your garage,
tinker with it,
just
yeah.
tinker with it and play with them, right? Like,
Yeah, and they do need to be tinkered with because up until recently they're all carbureted. They actually need to just be fucking fiddled with.
Yeah.
They just need that.
I don't know, like, and it's like that's kind of the exciting part for me. It's like it isn't so much. I'm sure I love riding, but it's also like being able to
Yeah,
like
just getting close to the machine.
exactly,
Yeah.
which is cool.
That's kind of the neat thing too. Like the whole motorcycling realm, I guess it's
Yeah.
so broad that even if that is all that really you're that keen on, is mostly just I want something that looks really freaking cool and I can tinker with.
That's it.
You could get an older bike and just sort of have that in the garage and enjoy it, and then ride it once or twice around town on Sunday mornings or whatever, and not really have to get into the whole other. I need to do the ass busting trips across country on a Harley or a Goldwing or something.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something for everybody that's
Exactly.
at least a little bit interested in it. There's something out there
Yeah.
for them.
In your limited time on bikes, what's the one lesson that sticks out the most?
I like power. Wow, I like power.
Yeah.
Power corrupts, man. I love that shit. It's fun. I don't know if there's any one lesson. It's just, for me in particular, it's almost therapeutic because you have to focus. You don't have the option.
Yeah.
Your mind can't wander. You can't dick with your phone. You can't
Yeah.
zone out. You are just on and doing that one thing and focused the entire time. And for me, someone who has a very difficult time focusing and is always kind of a scatterbrained dipshit, and I don't like that about myself, the biking forces that upon you. And it's that part of it, I think, is what I enjoy the most. And
100%.
And
I
also
get that.
power. I fucking love power.
Yeah.
With a bike, you earn your speed.
Yeah.
As opposed to a car, like you can have something that, a lot of the EVs out there now will easily catch in terms of like the 0 to 60, even maybe 0 to 100 times.
Yeah.
Some of the fastest, craziest bikes out there, but it's effortless. On a bike, you have to prevent. Well, I mean, now they have wheelie control and everything else. But
Yeah.
I mean,
You really got to think about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't just slam it on. Like you actually have to think about it. There's a lot of technique. You can't pose on a bike. So let me phrase that. You can't be a poser on a bike.
Yeah.
It's a skill you have to develop. You just have to.
You can. There are a lot of people. I've ridden with guys that have
we've talked about
leader
this.
bike Ducatis and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That the chicken strips are 2 thumbs wide because they can't take a corner on them.
Yeah.
They exist. Posers exist.
We're talking about like doing like even like when you're downshifting and stuff, you have to like actually be super cognizant. You don't like throw it into like a gear by accident and completely like mess it up and fall off your bike.
Yeah, and also like lock up the back tire. Oh, that sucks for you. You're done now. Like there's just so much to pay attention to,
Totally.
and it's a lot of fun. And it's been kind of nice to start on the slow. I don't want to say slow, but the slow Hondas, the slow 500s, because it's forced me to not just rely on the power. It's okay, like use the chassis, like lean into it more, to pick a better line, like try and be smarter, try and carry more speed through, like make the best of this. And also it's fun to just, with that scrambler, I was full throttle redlining the fuck out of that thing everywhere because it was slow.
Yeah.
And that was super fun too, and that taught me to be better.
I'm
I'm looking
sure
forward to
you've got-
getting on more powerful bikes now because I think I could almost do it.
I'm
sort
sure
of,
you've got
convincingly.
enormous granite balls that they'll start throwing you the leader bikes and you'll just be out there ripping it and like. For me, they scare the shit out of me.
Oh, they're
Anything over
terrifying.
160 horsepower, and I'm like, this is way too
That's
much. I don't
160
need
horsepower
On
that.
a bike.
Doesn't
too.
sound like much, but
Well,
holy
and
shit.
The
It's
BMW I
easy
had was
now to find-
100, and it scared the fuck out of me.
It's easy now to find bikes with 200 horsepower. There
Yeah.
are several of them.
As
out
much as
there.
my 911.
Yeah. And the thing weighs 450 pounds.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah. But the most fun that I've had has been on much lighter, lower power bikes. Like
Yeah.
the Ninja 400 is one of the most crazy fun bikes.
I've
out
heard that
there.
a ton from like everybody.
Because you can rip around town. It's it's like a Miata. You can
Yeah.
rip around town,
Mhm.
absolutely caning it. And the chassis and the suspension setup on that thing is so good that you actually really
Yeah, like
you can work it. And
yeah, you can
really
work it
have
and play
fun.
with it,
Yeah,
but not be going dumb fast.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's good fun.
It's also something I've noticed that like when I'm on a bike, like in one hand you're much more vulnerable, and in another weirder sense, and Jeff, you might maybe empathize with this. There's almost a sense of invincibility. I ride a lot faster than I would drive the same road in a car.
Yes.
You just feel freer, and I don't know what that is.
Partly, I find it's the power, the speed rather.
Even on a
It's
slow bike.
easier to acquire because you can just sort of look down and go, oh, I am definitely going much quicker than I expected to be at this point. But the other thing I find too is it's almost like subconsciously I'm sitting there thinking I'm harder to see from radar or for a cop, and so I'm just gonna zip
There
up
is
there.
a little bit of that, yeah. Like
Yeah.
I'm in a car. I'm typically like very conscious about speed limits because I don't want to get dinged. And a bike that just evaporates, it's gone, and
Yeah.
I'm just floating around carefree and having fun.
Yeah,
Not being a dink because I'm still afraid, but
yeah,
like
yeah. No, I hear you.
Yeah.
I find that too.
it's just nice.
And I'll tell you, in places where you can actually do lane filtering and lane splitting, the difference when you're commuting is just unbelievable. Even
wild.
here where you can't
Yeah.
do that, commuting, you can just squeeze into spots in traffic so much easier that it just makes it really
Yeah.
nice to get across town.
I've caught myself starting to do that. Like I can squeeze into that. I can do that.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
as you develop that confidence,
Yeah.
like I can do that. I can fit into that spot. I can flip those 2 cars. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Not
Anybody
fine.
that really isn't into bikes is just they've tuned out long ago, I guess. Should we move on? Do something else now? I can talk about bikes
Please.
all night.
Hey, Rock, cars. Cars are cool, huh?
Yeah. Jeff has a cool car. What you got?
Yeah.
This week, the BMW i7 M70. It's part of a comparo that I'm doing. So I've got that, and then I have the car that I also told you guys is one of the best.
Oh, the
things ever.
S63 PHEV.
Yes, the
Does Ben-
e-power.
Does Ben have that this week or next week?
Wait, hold up.
It's in a couple weeks, actually.
That's 63 PHEV.
S63 AMG Performance PHEV potato version
E-power.
for men.
Explain.
It's a S63, and it's a PHEV, and it
It has a plug that you
Yeah.
plug into the port.
No, but what makes it one of the best cars? Because I wasn't privy to this
it's
conversation.
1,050 foot-pounds of torque for one thing, which it helps it move.
That's pretty quick.
There's
Quite
good,
brisk.
but it's still got a V8 motor,
Yeah,
so it's not
and
Not lame?
But hang on.
The four-wheel steering on it meant that when I was ripping it around Malibu, it was like, holy shit, this thing feels like a C-Class with way bigger balls. It's unbelievable. It's so good.
So do you think that the new S-Class drives well?
That one did.
Because, hang on.
You think the S-Class
had
didn't drive
discussion
well, and I disagree. I think it
numerous
drove well.
times.
It's just different from the BMW.
I don't think it drives well. Well, hang on. The one that we had with the four-wheel steering, I thought was too twitchy and too annoying to drive.
It was definitely kind of weird. But once you got used to it, it's very relaxing.
But we also had a
Which one were you referring to? Were you
the 580.
Yeah, not yours.
Not the PHEV.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the PHEV one we had, I actually really enjoyed.
I really enjoyed I still maintain that is the sweet spot of the S-Class lineup. But yes, I also enjoy that considerably as well. It didn't feel twitchy.
No, it was weird. I don't know. That one was nicer to me than the S580.
Well, and this is partly why I set up this comparison test, was because I really, really fell in love with that car. But again, I was driving it around the Malibu Canyon roads and just living the
It's
Malibu
hard not to
lifestyle.
not to fall in love with anything there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, my whole presence of mind at that point is just like, this is where I belong. This is my happy place.
That's
Yeah.
all of us, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you were just there too.
I was just there. I was like,
Yeah. And he had a Z4.
damn,
I
I
saw
gotta
that.
move here.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
What do
yeah,
I do to get
yeah.
my ass
It's fucking
here?
Nirvana.
Yeah.
And so then I thought, okay, well, maybe I've been tainted by that, the perfect scenario. So that's why I booked it here, to drive it around on our shitty Southern Ontario roads and see how that goes. And I figured, well, what can I compare it with? And I mean, BMW, the best that we can do is this i7. And I absolutely love the i7. I love all of BMW's electric cars right now. I think they're absolutely magnificent.
They're the best.
This one is the M70.
Yes.
Which means
So let's talk about that.
It's a bigger number. That means it's better.
For sports?
They turned up the
More
juice.
sports.
So that's 10 more
you're right.
juice than the M60.
No, it's different juice.
Well, yeah, because like the
M60
torque, I think, is actually considerably higher than it was in the M60.
Okay.
Well, hold on. Okay, pause. The first i7, what was it? What was it called? Was it M60, M50?
M60.
It's M60.
Yes.
i7 M60.
Yes.
Okay, because I'm thinking of the 760 gas that I had.
Gas.
That car was gas as fuck.
Yes, it was, because it had a gas engine.
Yeah. Okay, so now it's i7 M70. And it's just slightly more.
Bigger number means more. This
Bigger
is
number
better.
means more.
It's
Okay.
better.
Do we know how much more? Don't say 10.
No, it's more than 10.
Okay.
I should know these numbers, but I haven't got my numbers handy.
Does
I'm
it
trying to
feel?
look it
Does
up.
it feel like a lot more?
I don't know. I've only just picked it up and drove it across town.
But it
so
says more. It says more right on it. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
The M is for more.
Exactly. And it has wool seats. So, I mean, really, what?
Yo, what?
bitch, what?
How did we not look at this thing before we started podcasting? I'm so... Can we pause? Just cut it right here. I guess we're not going to do that. Anyways. I don't know.
Wool seats?
Wool seats?
Yeah.
Hold up.
they went to Sally Ann and just got some old suits and
Yeah.
stitched them together.
but it's like wool from a woolly mammoth or something, like or unicorn manes or
Like-
something.
Long hair?
Well, no, but it's all been woven together really, really tastefully.
Okay.
He's really selling us on it, eh?
Yeah,
it's also
absolutely.
bronze. You see that?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
two-tone
Yeah, the
black
two-tone
and
is
bronze with
definitely,
wool
yeah.
seats.
It's kind of like baller as fuck.
It is, yeah. It's a pretty serious machine.
The i7, it goes so hard. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's not... I don't know.
wool seats. BMW's material choice, I think from the i3 onward. Because like they went with
That
some
was
pretty...
all recycled though, right?
Yeah, but they went with some pretty
Yeah,
wacky shit with that.
sick.
I threw was kind of sick.
And they're like, you know what? Let's just lean into this harder. Let's do cooler stuff. And now we have
makes
wool
sense,
seats.
right? Because it's like leather can be sticky and cold and hot and all the things you don't want.
Absolutely,
it to be.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so the wool, it's just sort of this natural, appropriate insulating layer.
Uh-huh. And it probably breathes super well.
It's a little itchy though, so it's good to wear pants.
What were you doing?
Bear in mind, we have this in a couple of weeks, so please.
Exhibit is closed.
So please wear pants throughout your week with both vehicles.
We've already determined we all are big fans of this car.
Yeah, so the M7. Oh, God.
Okay,
So bigger motor.
Okay, so between the two,
Yes.
thoughts?
Well, I haven't driven back to back yet, so my comparison head to head.
Oh, sorry, I thought you did.
No, it's like I've driven them both, but not back to back yet.
Understood.
So my comparison test day is later this week.
Okay.
But by recollection, it's going to be still tough to top that Mercedes because I just think it does a good job of being the big limousine that those cars are meant to be.
Absolutely, yeah.
But that S63 just so powerful, and it handled so well. So
It's got a V8 motor, and that V8 motor is the best thing Mercedes makes.
it's true.
The 4-liter AMG V8 is a fucking good
It's a
engine.
good engine, yeah.
It's a good engine.
But then it's, I don't know. I think I've been like, okay, I think I'm a little over the S-Class because we've lived with one for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And like seeing how that car fell off after a while, I was like, yeah, whatever.
Fell off or fell apart?
Both.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like fell off a cliff in value.
Yeah.
And then fell
Apart
apart.
when it hit the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, like, those cars are super nice. And there's a reason why people love them. Like, the S-Class is also, like, a little bit more, I don't know, basic in the way that it's like, yeah, it looks good. It's a normal S-Class. Like, there's nothing special about it. The i7's like, yo, I'm here.
Yeah.
Like,
It's definitely more in your face.
I think that's the thing. Like, it's almost like a different crowd in a way. Like, I don't
Oh,
know.
I'm sure it is.
Very different.
Like,
Yeah.
has the 7 and the S always been like that? Because I feel like they've been closer until recently.
Yeah, BMW went in like a pretty wild direction with this 7.
It's like, yeah. Like, they're unlocking,
Set
like,
to kill.
yeah, like their crack era again. Like, remember, like, the German crack era? There's like, fuck it, just put a V10 in everything.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Touareg? Oh, M5? Fucking. What else? Like, what else? Oh, the S8 got a V10 from
Got a
like,
V10,
like
yeah.
bro, they're just like, fuck it.
We have V10s,
Yeah.
put them in stuff.
Like, what do we do with this V10? I don't know. Just fucking put it in something.
Yeah, Porsche's building a car. Hey, we had that old V10 from the Le Mans program years ago, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Fucking throw it in the car.
Like, the Germans for a while were just like so unhinged. They're like, fucking just make it cool.
Yeah.
And then like someone was like, okay, settle down.
Yeah.
Make some cool
Pocket
regular
time is
shit.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now BMW's like, nah.
Part of them is back on.
How about we just make it cool? Okay, because we had this conversation recently about the M2. And like,
Yeah, you and I talked about this.
being that
Yeah.
I'm a little younger, I've seen a lot of them on Instagram with modified wheels and fucking lowered a little bit. And I'm like, damn, you know, this thing actually looks fucking super tight. Do you guys don't agree?
I've not seen one in person. Not enough to form that opinion yet.
I don't know, man.
I'm not going to slam the door on it, but I don't think I'll get there, especially given how fucking sick the previous
previous
M2
one was?
Yes.
I
The
agree.
previous one was
Yeah.
phenomenal. I'm still not...
and good looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just still not big on the new ones aside from the box clears. Like
I just think it's growing on me
like
a lot.
the rear section from like the rear section is hot.
I don't know.
But-
BMW's like,
But aside from that, it doesn't do it for me.
they're just doing different things. And it's like, yo, this is cool. Like, I can get behind this.
Bulbous.
I like that they're trying wacky shit.
And like other people seem to be kind of like warming up to it. Like, you know what? Like, hang on, you can. There's something to be done here.
Yeah.
And like the i7 is
get
kind
that.
of a perfect example. It's like it's just this huge slab-sided, like in your face,
Yeah.
Yeah.
with all of this like cool tech and everything. And like, and it also drives really well.
Yeah.
So it's
and
like,
it's well integrated. Like, it doesn't feel... Jeff, agree, disagree. I don't think the i7 feels gimmicky.
Agreed. No,
Like,
it's
when you're
just-
sitting in it. Outside, maybe a little, but sitting in it.
feels like, it's contemporary baller.
Yeah. Yeah.
that's a good way
This
to
guy's-
put it.
Look at this fuck. He's like an actual professional.
That's why we brought him in. Sorry, Nathan.
Man, what the fuck?
Patent pending.
Yeah, I don't know. That'll be an interesting comparison to read, I think. I don't know. Just because... Also, I didn't even know this S63 PHEV existed. I'm sorry. Because, like, I thought they were just going to do the 63. So is this, like, going to be... is this a replacement for, like, what would be a 65? Because it's...
I guess so.
Well, the numbers and the
six-
positioning is there. It's like right at the top of the lineup, so it makes sense.
Because realistically, it's a 63 with E-Performance.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's grotesquely expensive. Like, I think it's a good 40 or 50
Oh,
grand
wow.
more than the i7 that I got. So,
Jeez.
yeah.
So that's what, a quarter?
Yep. Right around there.
Well, the i7 is already 230 or something, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh.
Wow.
Jesus.
225, 220.
So if you got a lot of money, you got some options now.
Yeah. Or if you don't have
You've
a lot
always
of
had
money,
options.
but just some money, then just wait 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
right.
Because they'll fall off a cliff. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Jeff will be back. All right, boys, time to buy an i7.
Got one in there.
Yeah, okay. What else we got?
Nathan, you
Yeah.
are revisiting the Nissan Z this week.
Revisiting. I never had one.
I guess we are revisiting the
We are revisiting this week. We are revisiting the new Z this week, and Nathan is the unfortunate.
Not unfortunate.
Not unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
I don't know.
Unfortunate.
That car is unfortunate.
It gets
It's
a bad
so
rap.
unfortunate. It's you know what? This is one of those cases where I'm coming into a car with a backwards bias, where I really want to like it. I want it to succeed. I want to love it. I grew up playing Gran Turismo. I got a thing for Nissans. I fucking like them.
Yeah.
I really wanted this car to do well. I think it looks good. And, you know, they're kind of the underdog now because their shit is super fucked up. I really want them to do well. And the car just fucking misses so hard for me. I fucking hate it. I want to like it so much. And it just drives like such a box of dicks.
Also, the weird thing is, okay, we were talking about this because we've had some experience recently with a G35.
And it drives just like that, but faster.
Yeah.
And I hated that too.
The ergonomics, the switchgear, and all of that stuff is from that car from 20 years ago.
Like actually the same switches.
Yeah, so it's like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, even like the placement of like the...
Which I don't care about. Whatever. It's a button. I don't give a fuck. Save money. Fine. But
20 years, dude.
But pass the cost on to me, and the car's not cheap either. There's a
62
fucking problem.
No, that's the thing. It's so I really liked the new Z when it first came out. It was like 2022. Love the look, love the engine. The transmission was good.
I like the
considering the manuals in past Z's and G35s.
I like the transmission itself. I just and the G35 we were bashing the shit out of a few months ago had the same problem. The throttle tip-in is the worst
Yeah.
I have ever encountered in a car ever. The calibration is just like drunken on drugs. Like, you press the gas and nothing happens. There's nobody home. And then you stall. And you start the car. And you press the gas and it bogs. And then it shows up. It goes... And it's so hard to develop a fucking rhythm in this car. It's hard to drive smoothly slow. It's impossible to drive smoothly fast because it takes so long to shift. There's just these, like... You put your foot down, count out 2 steam potes, you get this huge whoosh of turbo, and then foot off the gas, clutch in, wait. And in the next gear, full throttle, 2 steam boats, whoosh, stop. Like...
Yeah, you know, like, because, okay, we talk about this, like...
I want it to do well, and I fucking hate it.
Yeah, it's like rev hangy thing, like the rev hang that's happening in all these new cars, and some old cars too. But what the weird thing is with this one, the rev hang happens even with the rev matching. Like, you'll go down to another gear, and it'll do some, like... It'll almost, like, hold the RPM... I don't know, and then do what it needs to do. Like
it's keeping the throttle open. You can snap your foot off, but it's keeping the throttle plate open and gently backing it off. And so the revs almost rise sometimes if you don't take your foot all the way off a full second before putting the clutch
I've
in.
had that because you try to send it, right? Like you do like a pull, and it's like, okay, you're in second, and then like bam, put the clutch in, and you're off the gas, and all of a sudden the revs are like, now you're redlining it. It's like, what the fuck's like, what's going on? Like, and you can't do it, and it's just so frustrating.
Yeah,
like,
and to drive that car fast, you have to pound it so hard. It feels like you're abusing it because you're just slamming through the fucking hang that it wants to do.
Yeah. It's a frustrating car to drive,
it's frustrating. I think the chassis is actually
okay.
It's there. I think it steers pretty okay. Like, I actually like the interior.
Soft.
It is pretty soft. I like the engine. I think it sounds pretty good. It's
got
fast. The car's fast as fuck.
Yeah, it does have power when it shows up.
But like, I think it's like 20% too soft, and it just we talk about this all the time. It's like it's beating a dead horse at this point. But I'm exceptionally fussy about it because I like old BMWs and Miatas. 2 cars that have this shit nailed.
So I don't remember. So it's been a couple of years now since I drove the new Z, and the one that I had looked identical to the ones you got this week.
I think it's been the same car for 3 years.
But I don't remember it being as bad as you described. I remember thinking like I needed to have a bit of time to warm up.
I don't.
You drove
get that.
I'm very fussy about this shit. I'm openly very fussy about this shit. I almost don't like modern performance cars because I'm so accustomed to the Miata that's got it like 10 out of 10 nailed. If you don't nail it, I don't want it.
He's a throttle mapping queen.
Yeah.
And it's just like, if you don't got it right, it falls into this uncanny valley of you're close, but you're fucking it up.
Yeah. I
close,
liked
but
it.
fucking... Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I liked it that if you got out of your head that it isn't a Supra, and it's not going to be a direct competitor to the Supra, because the Supra, I think, is done really well. I really, really like it, and I just find it to be more sharp and more precise and more everything good. But the Z, I found, once I kind of got into its rhythm, that by the end of the week with it, I was like, no, for just cruising the back roads and enjoying it just as a fun toy, the way one might with a Miata, for instance, I thought it did pretty well in that regard.
The problem
And I
with
like the looks of it a lot.
I think it looks great.
I think it does look great. Yeah.
the problem with that is it's a lot of money
Yeah.
for that kind of car
It's a
that
lot
you
of
described.
money, but also the bigger problem I think is it doesn't know what the hell it is. Like, okay, like is it a? This is weird. The Z is not supposed to be a touring car. I don't think, is it?
I wouldn't think so, but it's not hard enough to be a sports car
Right.
either.
So like
Right.
this thing falls into like a weird circle of shit where it's like it's too soft and too annoying to drive to be a performance car. I think
yeah.
the softness doesn't really bother me if
softness
they're trying to go for a touring car because the suspension's actually set up pretty well that it does.
It
it's
rides
comfortable.
nice. The car's like nice to drive.
Right. But then it's too frustrating to drive to be comfortable. I don't know. Like it's on this weird like
Yeah, it's just I feel
teeter
like
totter of like I don't know what I want, but I'm going to try and give you both and not do well with it.
And
either
with
of
the
it.
previous, like with the 370Z, when it was closer to a BRZ in terms of price, then you kind of went, okay,
Alright, that
I can
makes sense.
forgive some of the dated chassis,
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
old
Yes.
ergonomics, whatever, because I'm getting this sweet V6 that
Yeah.
I can't get
Absolutely.
in the BRZ.
330 horsepower for like
Right.
under 30 grand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Incredible.
But
yeah.
now it's like, when you're over 60 grand for this thing,
Yeah.
it should
Yeah.
be.
It's a tough sell.
Uh-huh.
Because to me, it's like Supra is like on one end where it's like, it's more sporty, and then you got the Z4 twin, and like I hate to say it, the Z4 is
we talked about this. We were going to compare the Supra and the Z4, and we decided not to because the Z is a new car masquerading as an old car. The Supra is a BMW masquerading as a Toyota. Just buy the BMW. It's better than both of them.
right. And I think like look, the Z4 was more expensive. It was about 10K more expensive, something like that, 10, 12.
Roughly, thereabouts, yeah.
Either way, I think that like the Z is weird because it's like it's the awkward middle ground between those two twins in my eyes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's like just pick a lane.
I feel like they almost have it set up. It feels to me like it is supposed to appeal to my dad.
Yeah.
Someone who
I
isn't a hardcore driver, but likes power, likes going fast, and grew up with the original Z and really likes those
Oh, they're bringing it
cars.
back. They're bringing it back.
Yeah.
I can get one now.
Kind of like that. The same guy who would buy a Challenger, except he has that affinity for Zs.
No, and I see that.
I think that's who that car is for.
But step inside the Z, and because it feels dated.
Which that guy won't notice.
Are you sure?
The Challenger felt dated too, and they sold $1 billion to them.
That's a good point.
That's a good
cool.
point. That's a very good point.
It is a Nissan Challenger. And it actually drives kind of the same. It's kind of soft, and the throttle response is kind of fucking annoying. And I think
There's
I
your
wish it was
story.
automatic.
Yeah.
Is
Thanks,
the auto
Jeff.
any
That's
good?
brilliant. I mean, it's a Mercedes 9-speed.
Mercedes.
It is a Mercedes 9-speed.
Yeah,
The last time I had that 9-speed was in the Aston DBX, and it was shockingly good.
But the tuning is what really matters.
Tuning is what it's all about. Yeah.
And it's probably not.
Well, the Nismo is
And that's the thing.
Automatic
To
only.
that point, so the Nismo is that 20% stiffer and is automatic only, which is not the sort of thing it sounds like we should like, but I think it would fix all my problems with this car. Would also add 13 grand to the price tag, which puts you back into a corner. At that point, just like,
Buy the Supra.
why are you not getting a fucking Z4, buddy?
Z4 or Supra?
Yeah, because the
Take your
Supra is
pick.
better. That's
Yeah.
why you didn't get the Z4.
I like having a trunk and a convertible top.
Whoa. Really? Yeah. It depends.
It depends on your priorities.
Listen, I really think that
If
like,
you like good cars, you get a Z4.
boom.
No, I actually really like the Supra.
Okay, before I get in the middle of YouTube, I think that
God.
they're both really good cars.
The Supra's fantastic.
The Supra is fantastic.
Yeah, it's definitely the more harder edge driver centric of the two cars. It's a fucking
No,
fantastic
it is.
car. Yeah.
But the Z4 I think is like a way better car to live with, and it's got a nice trunk and a convertible top, and it's a BMW.
Yeah, but guys like you and me that are lacking in the hair on top, we shouldn't be in convertibles like that because
You got hair? What are you talking about?
Oh, not where it counts up here though. Where the sun gets you.
I always have two hats in my Miata.
Oh,
Always.
well, there you go.
There's a baseball cap and a toque.
That being
Nice.
said, yeah,
Good.
He's set up. I don't know, man. Like the Z4 just seems like it's all about preference, and it's the fact that they both exist.
Yes. Applause, please.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I love that they like. We're actually kind of coming into like, I feel like 10ish years ago. This all started when Clarkson reviewed the fucking V12 Vantage S, whatever it was. And he's like, this is the lost one.
Yeah.
That's what, 15 years ago?
We've been saying that for 15 years.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. But I'm not saying it's the last one. What I'm saying is, like, they both exist, and they're both good options.
No, but that's the thing. I'm not saying, like, we're at a point now where it's so definitively not the last one. Like, we keep... There's this pervasive, like, doom and gloom amongst
Gearheads.
car journalism in general. Like, oh, these cars are dying. This is being legislated out of existence. And, like, there is some truth to that. But there's so much cool shit going on. I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to be bummed out about.
Well, I was going to say, like, I think we kind of, like, had... Okay, the 10 years before this, we didn't really have a lot of cool shit that regular people could buy. And it was like, hang on, like, but regular people do like cool shit. Let's go make some.
Yeah.
And now we have a bunch of cool shit. It's just eras of cool shit, right?
Yeah.
And we're in an era of, like, a lot of choice.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, like, enjoy it while you got it. And every generation, like, so the Z we were just talking about, it's like, the last time that was around was the last era of cool shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, this is now, like, the next generation of cool stuff you can go and look at. Like, whatever you want, you can buy nowadays. Like, you want to spend a bunch of money and get a bunch of power. You can, and now you have, the juggernaut of EVs. It's like,
yeah. Do you want to go quick?
Yeah. Just buy something
Yeah.
with an electric motor. And you can do that. Like, who cares? Like, even the
5N.
The 5N. It's like
Fucking brilliant car.
kind of a cool, like, I think it's a little gimmicky, but it's
But it's a fun gimmick. They sell it so hard.
exactly.
Yeah. Jeff, you driven that?
I have not.
It
You should.
rotates.
That is a mindfuck.
I was going to say,
That was a
I've
complete
heard
mindfuck.
nothing but
It's cool.
brilliant
It's
things about it.
It's one of the only cars... Let's play a game. See if you guys can think of this. Can you think of any other cars where the entirety of the automotive press was unanimous in their adoration for it? The last one I can think of before the 5N was the Mini Cooper.
Well, I think probably the ND.
ND.
ND. That's
okay.
pretty high bar, though.
They're okay, I guess.
Second gen
Yeah.
second gen BRZ to an extent,
Yeah.
in that they
It was a big improvement over the first gen.
massive massive improvement.
Yeah,
But they're
but
still
beyond that,
quality.
though, you don't hear anybody ragging on it. Like, people
Not really.
like
Well, I
that
like 'em.
car.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
it's pretty
like
universal.
at this point, I feel like the oh, it needs more power has sort of died down
Yeah.
because
That car's fast
quick.
enough.
Yeah.
Well, so coming back to it, the 5N, it was this gimmicky, let's make an EV for guys that care about cars. And everyone was like, oh, yeah, this actually kind of, like, this works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well,
It's like, whoa, like, how did you do that?
Yeah, I think everyone's like, that sounds dumb. That's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they drive it and they're like, oh, hold up. Like,
Yeah.
this is fun. Like, it actually, and it steers well. It's funny.
Yeah.
I think it's a little, like, the idea of it is funny, but it's pulled off in a way that you can have fun with it. It's like, okay, this is cool.
It's definitely the funniest car I've driven all year.
And that's the
Yeah.
point, though, right?
Yeah.
It's like, if you're going to have a toy,
Yeah.
you should be, grinning ear to ear or
Yeah.
giggling and just enjoying the fact that you're driving it. And I think,
Yeah.
by what I hear, that's exactly what that car does, right?
Yeah, it's not just fun to drive. Like a BRZ is fun to drive. The 5N is fucking hilarious.
Right.
Like, that's what it does. It's so comically fast and loud and dumb and silly and drifty and also sorted. Like, it's a very competent machine, so it's allowed to be this silly.
And it's got space, and it's very comfortable. Like,
Yeah.
the legroom even in the back is like, it's Ioniq 5.
Ioniq, yeah, it's great.
Yep, it's great.
It's
Cool.
in a weird way, for me, it's almost kind of reminiscent of, like, the Hellcats. In the sense of, hold on, bear with me,
No.
because they're just stupid. Like, they're just
Right.
stupid fun.
Right.
And the Ioniq 5 channels a lot of that, like, energy,
Yeah.
but it's also extremely
I
competent.
was gonna say, like, it's very, like, it reminds me a lot of a dog. Like, in a way, it's like, you, no matter what it does, you can't be mad at it because it's just funny. Like, it's like, it almost means well.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not coming to take away your
Wow.
like, I'm not coming to take away your gas cars. Do whatever you want.
Phrasing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I exist.
Yeah.
I'm an option. If you want it, I'm here.
You want to play?
Yeah.
Let's play.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Let's play.
That's it. Like,
Oh my god.
and the fact that exists beside something like the Z4, which is a convertible with a stick and a great engine
Yeah.
that looks fantastic. It's like,
And they're about the same-ish money.
in the same world.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want, and like,
Yeah.
that's cool.
So, you know, your game question there a minute ago of like, can we name another car that was as universally praised? Can we name another era then where there were two so different performance cars that were equally fun for roughly the same price as the example you've just given, like the Z4 and the...
Oh, that's hard. I don't even think it's possible to get further apart.
Right.
So if anything, now we have more choice than ever.
Yeah.
I think the only close analog I could think of hypothetically maybe is like the late 60s.
Bro.
Where you could get for roughly the same-ish money a BMW 2002 or a big block Chevelle.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see that.
Yeah.
I'll say early 90s GMC Cyclone versus whatever
Fucking
else.
anything else.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
I was actually thinking like Grand National and something else. Or like...
But the Cyclone's even dumber than the Grand National.
Exactly, but price. What the heck does a Cyclone cost? I don't know, man.
They were not cheap.
I was going to say.
They weren't expensive, but they weren't cheap.
But what was coming up against it?
Corvette.
Yeah, okay, so that's funny.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that is pretty wacky. So I guess it happens, and kind of like you were saying earlier, it's sort of cyclical, right? Like we just sort of go through these waves.
Eras
It's like
of cool shit.
It's like music. We get really bad eras of music and lots of auto-tune, and then eventually we'll get good, proper,
But that's the thing,
old-fashioned
right?
rock.
You need the bad times to know that you're in a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to look at what else we're talking. Oh, the Apache. That's a funny car.
That's a fucking hilarious
sick
car.
car.
Yes, the F-Pace SVR.
Yes, Apache Severe makes a return.
Oh my god.
It's still dumb,
So-
and it's still excellent.
Yeah.
Mm.
Unlike the general doom and gloom, the whole this is the last one, yada yada yada. This is probably actually
They
last
say
one.
that a lot.
They've been saying
the British
that.
do that though. You ever notice that? Like they're like, no, trust me. It's like a McLaren. How many special edition McLarens
Right.
are there? Like
many
they can't get enough. They're
how
like,
many final
no,
edition
no.
F-types were there?
That's what I'm saying. But it's funny because like that I don't want it to disappear.
Surprise!
Don't take away that 5-liter V8.
Don't take away that chassis.
The chassis is whatever. It's good.
It's more eager to rotate and play and be direct than the Z.
That's a really high
Such a
bar though.
silly car.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's a big crossover.
it's
That
sick.
holds
Yeah.
things.
That's the silly part, right? Like it is ostensibly a normal family car that is also a Hellcat.
To me, it's all about the noise.
Yeah.
That thing just sounds rowdy. Like, what else sounds like that in that genre?
Yeah. I don't
Even
think
the
anything
X,
does.
like X5.
Not anymore.
Do they have like an M?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had the X5M
Oh
competition.
yes,
you may or may not recall.
Yeah, I do recall. That thing was sick, but it didn't sound like.
But it
this.
didn't sound like those. No.
It was quick, but like, I don't know. Like this thing
Not
is
the
just
same.
funny.
And an
Yeah.
X5 feels bigger too. Like,
Absolutely.
This thing
Yeah.
is
It shrinks.
It's tidy.
Yeah. Jaguars have always been very good about that. They've always had the ability to handle like bewilderingly excellent. Not well, but like this doesn't make sense.
I don't
This
agree.
shouldn't be this good.
You think?
Yeah. Dude, it had an XJR, and that was a big ass car that did not handle like a big ass car.
It also didn't handle like an M5 of its era, though. Either, did it?
You could make
It
it.
slalom faster.
Get out of here.
It did. You can go look that shit up.
I'll do
That
that
car
later.
turned real good.
Okay,
I'm
either
not
way.
saying it was a better car, but it handled bewilderingly
Yeah, yeah.
well, especially given that it was significantly bigger and
So you think
heavier
that's
than
like
an
kind of
M5.
like Jag DNA? Like,
That's just kind of their thing. They're just really good at setting up a chassis.
yeah.
You're right, though. It does feel a lot smaller. I was really lucky to be on the press launch for that in southern France, and in southern February,
exactly.
Nice, it was lovely. But the gentleman that I was paired up with to drive, he was one of our elder peers in this industry. But that man can wheel. I didn't realize this. I just
Yeah.
thought he was a fragile old man.
Yeah.
He scared the living shit out of me on some of those roads, outside of Monaco and stuff. We
Yeah.
were just flying down
That's
there,
cool.
and that thing handled like it was
It's
unbelievable.
there for it, yeah.
It's incredible, yeah. And then he chastised me when like a guy in a Fiat Panda or whatever passed me. You're not going to stand for that, are you? Okay, I'm certainly not. And
Yeah.
chased the kid down, and yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hide this weight.
Shrinks. Really good. That's just a Jaguar thing. They're fucking good at that. I am sad that they are probably kind of going. Because,
In general?
yeah.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
They allegedly discontinued almould all their line, but don't have EVs ready to go.
I know.
It's
Yeah.
kind of a fucking enormous problem.
Why don't they just
And
stay
we
making
should-
a 5-liter V8? That'd be kind of cool.
That would be sick.
Hey, you want some cool shit? Jaguar. You know.
Yeah.
5-liter V8.
all the tooling's paid for by now. They've been running that in there for a million years.
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
Since the 90s, man. It's a fucking good motor.
Yeah.
I find
sad.
I find the interior in the F-Pace SVR feels a little. There's more of a sense of occasion, and it feels more special than
The
the
normal.
handful of Range Rovers that we've crossed paths with recently.
Feels more British to me. I don't know. Just they
Yeah.
do those details really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They give a shit about that stuff. Like
They do.
everything is about like pomp and circumstance. You've seen the Aston, right? Like all the vents coming up. They're like, check this shit out. It's so cool. Like
Yeah.
Jags do that too. Like even the F-Type, like
Yeah.
the little vents coming up. This thing like has like I can't remember what it was. What does this one do?
I haven't
That's
actually
funny.
driven this one. I just remember the last one was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know. Like they like that kind of like cool stuff.
Yeah.
That like
Yeah,
on the
there's
show.
just a real sense of like, oh, mate, check this out.
Yeah.
That's the whole car.
it's like a Bond thing, right? It's like like all like the hidden gadgets. Like they're like like it's I don't know. I'm here for it because it's personality, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's so much personality in theater and charisma. They just like ooze charisma out of everything through the chassis, through the engine, through the exterior interior design. Like they're so thoughtfully dialed, and it's a shame they're not like empirically better. They've never been able to like really stack next to the German kids, right? It's always been something that's dogged them. Everyone's tried to do it, and even they themselves, when the S-Type R came out, like, don't compare this to an M5. Don't compare this to an M5. Don't compare it to an M5.
And everyone did.
And everyone fucking did. But it did its own thing.
But to me, like the F-Pace leaving, especially the SVR, is sad because it feels like they kind of finally finished it. They're like, hey, this is the best version. Like we figured it out, and they're like, now you can't really have one anymore. It's like why? Like you just got it. Like let me have one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Pour one out for the homies.
Yeah.
I gotta miss Jaguar. They're the fucking best. They're so like they're just cool.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
You're not going to end on this note, are you? That's a bit of a downer.
I know.
Can we celebrate
Jesus.
something?
That we have so many fucking cool cars to fuck
Yeah.
with. That's-
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good reminder.
An era of cool shit.
You're here for the cool cars.
We're in an era where a 1,000 horsepower Corvette is just news.
Right. Yeah.
Not a bit. It was a headline for a day.
Hold up. 1,000 horsepower Corvette with the engine in the middle.
Yeah.
Something they have tried to pull off since the 60s.
Yeah.
And it's not even
And
the
it's a
fastest
news
one.
item.
Yeah. There's going to be a faster one, and that's going to be whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're so fucking spoiled
It's true.
We're still
for performance and choice. And
Yeah.
if you want a car that's actually good to drive, go get a Miata. That's still there. Wow.
or Z4
Or is that for?
if you're a grown up.
Yeah. I am not. Or the Supra, right? The fact that these cars all exist, they're all back.
Pick your poison. Yeah.
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 Well, that's a
There you go.
slightly more positive note to
Yeah,
end
a
on.
bit more optimistic.
Yeah, cool. Well, Jeff, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having
It
me.
has been a slice having you here. Why don't you tell us and our dear listeners where they can find your work?
Well, anybody that is wants to see that story about the Miata versus the Goldwing, it's supposed to be coming out very soon this autumn in Vicarious magazine.
Excellent.
Otherwise, this comparison test with the S63E Performance and the i7 M70 will be in Auto
Numbers
Trader.
go up, bro.
And otherwise, there's other goodies up on Auto Guide right now. So there you go. That's where you
Excellent.
can find me now.
Sweet. And to everyone else,
Oh yeah,
hey,
absolutely.
yeah, we'll just scrub that out. And to everyone else, thank you all for tuning in. If you wish to keep tabs on our automotive misadventures instead of Jeff's automotive misadventures, you can do so at doubleclutch.ca on your socials. We are also on YouTube, so head on over there and do the whole thing with a like button and the subscribe button and the notification button. Smash that like button.
Yeah, check us out at Double Clutch Magazine. I'm trying really hard.
Yeah.
Go check it out, please. And go check out Jeff's stuff because he's fucking really good. We're happy to have him.
And last but not least, thanks for listening, Nathan's mom.